Hello everyone, welcome to the PIPCAST 3000. I'm Caedo Genesis, joined by my co-host BADCompanySarge.
Hello there.
This is a bi-weekly podcast where we talk about gaming news and have a Bethesda dedicated or centered topic. This one being about the best uniques in Fallout and where to find them, of course, because it's my thing that I do. That's our plan for today. I don't think the news topics are too particularly heavy, and also we had a topic idea from you, Sarge.
I thought we should do a Fallout Q&A, where you give us questions and we answer them. And they're Fallout related because it's for the topic.
Yes.
I figured this would be quite helpful, especially if there's stuff which wouldn't be big enough for a full topic on its own, but which you're interested in knowing. You can ask us anything. Whether or not we answer it will depend on if it's good for the podcast. But yeah, leave some questions in the comments below. I'm also going to make sure Caedo and I both make community posts being like, hey, give us questions. So hopefully next episode, if we get a big influx of questions, or in a few episodes' time, we can do a little Fallout Q&A, answering a bunch of different Fallout questions.
Yes. Thank you, Sarge. I had trouble trying to form words about that. As I will with most of the episode, and fortunately the listeners will not have to hear all of that, because I am very good at editing. So, before we get started with the newsy stuff, we got through the Q&A stuff. Comment of the cast. Could you read the comment from last episode where we talked about, what was the last episode about? I always
Best
forget.
Fallout 4 builds, according to the gamer.
According to the gamer, and our verdict was a lot of them aren't builds.
Yeah, I mean, the first half wasn't builds, it was just like individual things you can do.
Yep.
And the second half of this list of 15 were 2 builds, each with like a different weapon or a different armor, and that was it.
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed about it. Still 101 says, wow! Some of these builds sound pretty cool. I use a Minuteman Superman / Power Armor / Sniper build for Nate. I maxed out all special stats, got the solar perk, maxed out the power armor perks. Sadly, the train doesn't work anymore, a common glitch. Maxed out the melee perk, other perks that are useful for a sniper, and the rifleman perk. I love going crazy with the BOS 9060 and the last minute Gauss rifle. The best part, I keep on a super strong armored Vault 111 suit. Hey, I like the classic look, lol. There's a crying emoji.
Oh, you need a cry laughing emoji.
Oh, is it laughing as well?
I think so.
Well, I just did crying. I thought I just needed to, let the emotions out.
Yeah, we do once in a while. Thanks, Steel101, for showing your emotions and your comment.
And if you want your comment read, then give us a question, because we'll be doing that, but a lot, for a future topic.
Yes. Yeah. We can say, like, it can be in this comment section for the next episode as well.
Yep.
Yeah, leave a question. It could be any general question about Fallout. Like, it doesn't have to be specifically catered to us. And we can just give our take if that's something you care about.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let's get into the news. It's a little all over the place today. Doesn't feel like it's themed at all.
No. But the first one ties into leaving comments and having them answered well.
Yes.
Because Caedo, he did a little question and got an answer.
Oh my god. I did do that.
Yeah.
So when we talked about Starfield, I think when we had Will on for like a couple episodes ago, actually now, I sent a tweet to Dane Olds, who is the art director, lead weapon artist on Starfield. I always get that confused because in the Starfield Direct, I felt like there wasn't like any actual unique weapon shown, but I've since been corrected in that there were. I just wasn't paying close enough attention, or I was assuming the worst, because that's sometimes what I do when I'm referencing to Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. So I asked Dane Olds, I gotta know, this weapon you mentioned in your interview, the Razorback, because he did an interview and we covered it. Is this a common weapon, unique or legendary with a name? I was missing seeing actual unique weapons in the Starfield Direct, and Fallout 4 left me wanting more handcrafted stuff. And he says, hey, thanks for asking. The Razorback is a standard production pistol from Laredo Firearms. There are unique versions of lots of guns in the game. We even showed a handful in the Direct.
Yes!
So,
yes! Yes!
yeah! Confirmation
Uniques.
that there are uniques. To what level? We still don't know.
Nope.
But
Lots means at least 2, right?
at least 2. So, thank you, Dane Olds, for replying to my Twitter question where I post barely anything most of the time.
Caedo is the only person who I have notifications on for when he tweets, because it happens so rarely that I'm like, oh, why is Caedo come back here?
Often it's because I'm mad about something. So if you want to see me angrily tweet, after about 4 months, or like with 4 months in between, or more than that, then yeah, follow my socials.
You seem to tweet almost once a month this year.
This year?
Yeah. If we include retweets as well, definitely.
Nice. Yeah. I also still don't really like Twitter, especially now with,
I mean, yeah, lots of people don't like Twitter.
how it's going. But we're not going to get into that because we have other news topics to go over. One of the things that's good is the Sega workers overwhelmingly vote to unionize, and this is Sega of America. According to Engadget, workers at Sega of America have voted to unionize in a union representation election with the National Labor Relations Board. The workers voted 91 to 26 in favor of their unit, which is called the Allied Employees Guild Improving Sega. 19 ballots were challenged, while 3 were void. As a result, the group has now officially organized with the Communications Workers of America. More unions, good. It seems like this is just all roles, including quality assurance, but it's including more employee positions than just that, and that's awesome. Employees being treated like people is always a good thing, and having the power to make changes when they're not being treated like people.
Yeah.
So,
because your bosses will always screw you over if it makes them more money.
Yep.
So you've got to have some way to deal with that.
Yeah. So, good on you, Sega of America.
You know who isn't unionized?
Who would that be? You want an example of what happens when they're not? Yes. What is that, Sarge?
It's the voice actors of Genshin Impact who haven't been paid for 4 months.
Oof.
For working on Genshin Impact.
Yep.
One of the most profitable video games around right now.
Yep.
But you know what? It's only been a third of a year. Why are they complaining?
Mm-hmm.
Why are all these employees like, oh, we need better conditions and we actually want to get money, and why aren't you feeding us? We're doing all your work for you free. They're all just moaning, aren't they? Yeah.
Sarge is being sarcastic. In case that's a question.
I mean, I laid it on as thick as possible. If you don't get that I'm being sarcastic, I don't know what else to do. Yeah, there's some quotes here. They claimed that they had sent 5 emails with no response, and there's been a big thing on Twitter with Brandon Winkler at bwinklerva talking about it. Yep, says, inexcusable for us as actors to be waiting 4+ months for pay when you make $86 million per month. $86 million per month.
Mm-hmm.
I want to point out that's not like a yearly thing.
$86 million.
A month.
Not pennies, dollars.
Mm-hmm. Let's wait. 86 million. Is that almost $1 billion a year?
Almost $1 billion per month. Sorry.
A year? God.
A year.
Caedo.
Yep. Here I am.
They make lots of money.
I'm super
We're going to
awake.
ignore Caedo for a minute.
I didn't take a nap before recording. You can't prove it.
Yes, but the tweet is being like, yeah, voice actors demand your payments because they've not been paid.
Yeah. That's...
And Yeah, originally as well, when they were tweeting about this, they didn't mention like the company or the game by name. They were just like, "Hey, here's a public thing saying I've not been paid. I should be paid."
Yeah.
And nothing happened. And this is obviously months of it. And there is the quote. The actor concluded by announcing they personally won't be working on this game anymore unless it goes under a union contract. Because, yeah, they're not part of a union, which can make it very difficult. It's just like a freelance kind of person who's not like on payroll properly or anything to get your money, to get it in a reasonable time, to get paid a decent rate, especially if you're like newish to the industry and maybe don't know what you should be charging or what you should get paid. Like, there's a whole host of problems. And yeah, this has happened, and now 2 voice actors are not being paid by a company worth so much money that we can barely make a head nor tail of it.
I can't imagine. I don't think I've even worked a job where I had to wait that long for any type of pay whatsoever. Yeah. Like, the closest to that was like under the table jobs that I did, or like unofficial jobs that I had done. But even so, like, most of them paid me consistently or per job. Like, I never had to wait that long for an action. So I can't even imagine, like, how... Yeah. That's bad. That's really bad.
Incredibly bad.
Especially something, hopefully, official that has everything on the books. Where... Yeah. That's...
I mean, you'd hope they've not been screwed out and accidentally signed a contract that said, haha, we're not going to pay you. Fortunately, after that, sad story, we have some good news.
Is it?
Some great news, which we all should get a big smile about. Gex is back, baby.
Gex is back.
Yeah. You'll remember Gex, right?
Yep. Everybody remembers Gex.
We don't need to mention anything else about him. They just know him by name.
The quippy gecko that did the platforming and made the pop culture references that super didn't age well.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was also a different Gex in the UK.
Oh, really?
I'm going to double check this. So, in the North American version, Gex is voiced by comedian Dana Gould. The United Kingdom version features Gould, Leslie Phillips, and Danny John Jules.
In the UK versions of Gex 2 and 3. Ones. Okay.
Yeah. We had slightly different redubs for some reason.
Interesting.
And hopefully the voice actors got paid for that.
Yeah, hope so. Anyway, yeah, this was one of those things where I'm not sure if there's any audience for this game anymore. Like these games.
What do you mean?
In general.
Everyone loves Gex. The whole world is the audience.
Yeah.
It'll bring us together and usher in the first utopia of the world.
Yeah. Part of the problem is, like, coming out in the early 2000s, and it, like, a lot of what made Gex popular is just not something, is not things people talk about anymore. Like, linked in the...
You say early 2000s, it's actually late 90s.
Sorry, late 90s.
The last game was 1999.
Oh my god.
The first game, I was not born
The
yet.
third game was 99. Way to make me feel older, Sarge.
Yeah. Gex the Gecko is older than me, so... Yep.
It's not your fault, though. I can't like, blame you for time existing. Yeah. So, in the comments, do you remember Gex? Did you play it? Do you remember it fondly? Are you a Gex fan? I think me and many others are hoping to find at least one somewhere who's somebody who considers himself a Gex fan, who is just clamoring for for something to happen with the IP like 20 years later.
Yeah, it is a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost been 25 years. Depending on when it comes out, did we actually get a release date of any kind? I think we did.
I don't think so. I think it's more of a...
It's gonna happen. Yeah, it could be for like the 25-year anniversary, potentially.
Yeah.
which is
Weird.
Oh,
My only
I
experience
hope
with
they keep all the references the same, and everyone's just like, wait, what? It'd be great.
You know what's funny is my only experience with Gex was on a PC Gamer demo disc,
Ah.
and the article that we got was from PC Gamer.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's coming full circle.
full circle, Sarge. Something else that's full circle and weird. This crossover in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I got an advert for this just like organically. So you know Call of Duty, right? The military shooter.
Call of Duty
with
shoot a guy.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got super heroes in it. It's got like the 7 from The Boys, the superheroes who go around and like kill people and aren't really heroes, just kind of have superpowers and a business.
Yep.
They're just in the game fighting against military army man.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. I haven't looked at the trailer yet.
Yeah, I've not played Call of Duty in a fair few years, like none of the recent ones, and I do wonder how much things have changed. Because when I kind of left the franchise, we were in like near future, just like, oh, okay, you get fancy sights which can like scan for things, and that's about as advanced as the technology got. And now they're superheroes with superpowers. And this is, you know, just how Call of Duty is now. Right?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Call of Duty is trying to get a little more sci-fi and color into their stuff. I mean, they probably have before.
Oh, for certain.
But this is just strange to me. This is very unusual. It's like
it is a bit odd.
This is Warzone because they're probably just like, wait a minute, didn't Fortnite do an Avengers?
Yeah, I mean it's Modern Warfare 2 as well as Warzone.
Yeah,
but yeah, maybe they're just going with a wacky thing. But the thing is, Battlefield's like dead in the water these days, so they've not got the competition on their like military shooter front in quite the same way. If you want like a team deathmatch sort of style military shooter, you go to Call of Duty.
yeah, or
simple as that.
Or Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah,
that's a
bit more of a tactical niche.
Yeah, I mean, still pretty popular though.
Yeah, it's definitely popular, but Rainbow Six is like very carefully edge round a corner, deploy this item, take aim, wait for 5 minutes, pull the trigger once. Good match. Call of Duty is, I'm gonna run forwards and throw grenades.
So what you're saying is one of them is wait and shoot a guy, and the other one is just shoot a guy.
Yeah.
Cool. Got it.
They're very different to
Very
play.
different. Yeah, very strange. I stopped watching The Boys after a little while anyway, because like it got too shock value gross outy to me to watch. So like I'm not even like the morbid curiosity kind of stopped after a little while. I think I was just like,
I think I only watched the first season, and I enjoyed it, but
yeah, I mean
I didn't care enough to come back for the second.
Yeah, so that's how it was for me. I think it's like the first season was all right, but I also didn't walk away feeling good by watching it. Like it's one of those shows. It's just like dark, depressing, awful things happening on screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows now where I'm like, this is making me sad. I'm just gonna watch something that's fun.
Yeah. I'll talk about one that is about equally as gory, but straight up hilarious and fun to watch when we get to the "What are we doing" section. Because I watched something that was entertaining, and I will probably watch it again because of how entertaining it was. Something else that I found entertaining that probably a lot of people won't is...
Yep, I'm just gonna sit back for this topic.
Whatever Hideo Kojima is doing, really. Because I found the Hideo Kojima topic this time, Sarge. Are you proud of me?
Well done, Caedo.
Thank you. So there is I want to say like a Japanese show called NHK World. I hope that's correct. Where they did, I think they're doing a series called Game Genome. And this episode was interviewing Hideo Kojima and talking about Death Stranding and its themes. And it's cool. I think it was designed more for a general audience, especially because like, it's got dubbed sections, like it's fully translated and stuff like that. So like it's not a difficult thing to watch. It is difficult to watch in the sense that the game is explained to you as if you were never a gamer in the pre-edited sections. The interview sections are where the cool stuff is, though, like Kojima describing how he came up with the different themes and imagery and stuff like that for Death Stranding. Essentially what you think about when you play one of his games, like everything is a metaphor, because that's kind of how he does stuff. But also towards the end, he was called out, I want to say almost called out for doing like an homage to previous eras of gaming that we should not forget. And there was parallels drawn to crap, I can't remember the name of the motorcycle game, Donkey Kong, fighting games like Street Fighter and stuff like that. And Kojima was like, "You found the hidden theme," which was apparently, either played up for the end of the interview, or just like one of those things where it's like, oh, somebody actually, pointed it out that, Kojima's paying respect to, the building blocks of gaming as we know today. So yeah, because there's like references to shooters and stuff like that in some sections of the game, as well as like a fighting, essentially a fighting game kind of cinematic scenario with the end boss. So it's got a little bit of everything. I think Nier Automata does something kind of similar in its gameplay, where it's just a bunch of stuff mashed up into one game and executed pretty well. So I recommend this deep dive if you are a Hideo Kojima fan and
it has Gen Hashino as one of the hosts, and I really like him in MIU 404, which is why I'm excited. I don't care about the rest of it.
Okay.
I'm a fan of one of the hosts.
I didn't know who he was, so that adds
I know who he
more
was. I saw his face and was like, oh my god.
There you go.
He plays Kazumi Shima in MIU 404. The greatest Japanese show ever, right? We're all fans of it.
I'll take your word for it.
He's also a musician.
Ah, yes. Yeah, he was playing guitar for part of it. And I'm wondering if the song they play at the end was his song? Because that would make sense. And it's also in Death Stranding, if that's the case.
Ooh.
As one of the songs you can program into your PCC structures.
Oh, just quickly, I wanted to say that it's a Japanese TV show that doesn't seem to be very sugoi big flashing lights everywhere. It's fairly restrained for Japanese telly, which is nice. I like it when they don't go overboard, which you often end up seeing.
Yeah. Because the cutaways are just like explanations with English dubs over. But that's about it. That's the only thing that would be remotely jarring, and it's not. It's dumbed down, but it also is kind of pleasant to watch. So do recommend if you like stuff that Kojima makes and want more of his brain to be dialogued about.
Yep. Or if you're a fan of the Melon Bread Cops.
Yeah.
I'll continue making this reference, but no one gets.
Something else that I don't get is how somebody could write 1,000+ page compendium about Starfield before it's even out.
I mean, how big's the font?
It's not that big of a font, Sarge.
Curses. Because if you let me put it at size 1 billion, I think I could manage. I might not even fit the entire word Starfield in.
Yeah, Okay, so Gokamo, it doesn't seem like they have a social media. Otherwise, I'd be like shouting at them, being like, "Why did you do this?" And also, very well done, good job. Because this is a over 1,000-page Google Doc with a table of contents and everything about like all of the Starfield content, starting from the tease of 2018 to now, like post Starfield Direct. And a lot of it is, of course, their own thoughts on different things. So a lot of this is very subjective, obviously, but it is still them documenting everything they have seen or everything we have seen up until this point.
I mean, we've all seen the videos where people go through frame by frame. This is the text version of that with accompanying images and just long.
Yeah.
Real long.
Yeah.
They'll literally just get like a single frame and be like, that restaurant in the background, we know the name, here are people next to it, here's what they're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And then possibly like infer something from it as well. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. As of current, this is 1,071 pages. Just a couple. And like Sarge was saying, it does include a lot of screenshots too. But it's meticulously put together. I may reference this the closer we get to Starfield just to get like some idea of what's being shown on screen. I did search for the term unique, and they use unique to describe many things. Yeah. But not unique weapons.
No.
Or armor.
I mean, there's no proof of uniques other than your tweet.
Yeah.
Reply is like the only thing.
And that's part of the reason why I wanted to find them on a social media as well, is so I could be like, hey, I got confirmation from the lead weapons artist that there are uniques and that they were shown, but that may not be, even though it's one of my priorities, may not be the priority of everybody else.
Way too many people are like, I just like legendaries because then I can get something random.
I know you replied to my post in the subreddit. I was on my bullcrap that day. And
people weren't happy. Caedo made like a Reddit post being like, hey, uniques would be nice, and it's like 50% upvoted or something.
Yeah, it wasn't that much upvoted. Like, I think gamers are wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are very stupid.
I'm just gonna put that out there. And I don't think that a looter shooter system like the out of control legendary system put in Fallout 4 should be encouraged in a single player game.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's most of what my post was. And then coming up with examples, especially and borrowing examples from Sarge too, of why, uniques and legendaries can coexist, but that they're currently not in Bethesda games, and hoping that they do. Yeah. And giving examples of games where they do coexist, like, unfortunately, Cyberpunk 2077, and also The Outer Worlds, where there's a very clear line between, your standard loot, randomly enchanted or boosted gear, as well as the unique stuff. Yeah. Anyway, that was a side thing. What I mean to say is Gokamo's ridiculous amount of work on this document thankfully has garnered some attention, because that is so much work for one person to do. That would be close to if I decided to write the script for all of my guides at once. That would be about the length of...
The thing that does make me sad as well is it is just like that. And some of this is going to change. A lot of this is going to be completely irrelevant. A lot of the assumptions will be wrong. Like...
Yeah.
That's a lot of work for some stuff that is, like, not going to stay as it is.
Yeah. And, I mean, you recognize it too. Like me being around as long as I have with this kind of content, especially in the digital age where everything gets updated all the time.
Yep.
If you're doing something like this, it's probably a good idea to wait on certain aspects and then, you know, report on later. I get the like being first and reporting stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
Like we are content creators.
Ugh.
Bleh. But it at some point, like Cyberpunk is a prime example, like things get changed and updated post launch. So you either have to plan for that in advance, which I've done before, and it's a huge pain, or assume you're going to need to do a new version later, which neither is ideal. Sometimes I like to just, you know, write down and talk about something as is and hope that it doesn't change.
Yeah.
But we're not in that age anymore, so...
You can hit a weird middle ground as well. I know my beginner's guide for Fallout 76, I tried to future-proof as much as possible. And it does mean that you can still watch it today and have very useful information from it. The core stuff has not changed. But a little bit of it has.
Yep.
And it's not enough for me to have ever gone back and been like, I should redo this. But it's also just enough that it bugs me a bit, because I'm like, okay, there's technically a few mistakes now, which is fun.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that still work in the Cyberpunk tips and tricks, but most of them are kind of irrelevant now.
Yeah.
And then we'll wait till Phantom Liberty update where everything changes again.
Yeah.
I'm super thrilled, as you can tell. Anyway, good job to Gokumo for doing this huge, ridiculous compilation on things. Again, like crazy breakdowns on even like that scary four-legged mutated alien thing that attacks stuff. That's shown for like a split second in the Starfield Direct, like smashing another monster. Yeah, they went into a deep dive about like a specific attack happening by one of them in Atlantis? New Atlantis? New Atlantis, sorry. Not old Atlantis, New Atlantis. And yeah, I think it's just really cool. So with that, speaking of really cool, uniques are really cool. We already kind of segued into that, and then I kept talking about the previous topic.
Yep.
Sarge and I have picked our favorite uniques in the Fallout series. This is 1 and 2, 3, New Vegas, 4 and 76. So we're going to be talking about those and telling you where to find them. I think it might just be me telling you where to find it. I don't know if Sarge is going to have
I know where to find a few of them.
A few of them, okay.
Yeah.
But in the comments, you should share what your favorite unique weapon is, or unique armor. I don't know, we might do an armor thing at some point. And where to find it, and why you like it. That's probably important too. Because I know that there's going to be some that you're going to be like, oh, why did you talk about this one?
Go ahead and say it.
What?
You're not going to talk about the revolver. I thought you were leading up to that.
Oh, the Ranger Sequoia?
Yeah, why did you talk about Ranger Sequoia? Caedo?
Funny thing, I actually got I've been waiting a long time to get into the Ranger Sequoia comment. Like, it's been like a year or more.
Oh, wow.
Since somebody has said you forgot the Ranger Sequoia, and it finally happened again yesterday. But the thing is, at this point, because I have pinned comments on a lot of videos that are saying like, oh no, the Ranger Sequoia is not unique.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ironic comments or not anymore.
Yep. I mean, it's so hard to tell.
Yeah.
If you're just reading text on a screen that someone's posted, and people do irony as just saying the exact same thing that someone sincere and stupid would say.
Yeah.
Which is not helpful.
Yeah. So
anyway, uniques.
Yes, why don't we get into the actual uniques? Ranger Sequoia is not unique.
Nope.
Stop suggesting that. It's not.
Being pretty isn't unique.
Yep. Being powerful isn't unique either. Speaking of powerful, Alien Blaster. This goes all the way back to Fallout 1. It has been around for a long time, and in Fallout 1 and 2, it was an actual unique weapon. You could only get one alien blaster. Was, even back then, one of the strongest energy weapon in the game. The unfortunate side effect of having something so powerful, or downside, I guess, was its range. I think it was like 15 hexes, which is not that far. So you had to be fairly close to your enemy to hit him with the alien blaster. Alien blaster in Fallout, and it definitely looks like like 50s film,
budget
or
sci-fi movie.
50s 60s sci-fi film alien blaster things. What it was modeled after, I think. AP cost of 4 to fire, which is not that much. Its range is 10.
Oh, okay, that's significantly worse.
Which is way worse.
You know what? 15 isn't terrible.
Yep.
But no, 10 is garbage.
But in the realm of Fallout 1 and 2, 30 to 90 damage is ridiculous for a small arm energy weapon. Unfortunately, like many of the alien blasters in Fallout, this is also acquired in a random encounter. The outdoorsman skill and luck can play a part in finding it. The better you are in that skill and that attribute, the more likely you could be of finding the alien blaster. And you'll know when you see it. It's a crashed alien ship. You know, what we're kind of used to at this point.
Yeah.
So, good luck finding the alien blaster. Also, something you need to know about the classic Fallout games is the energy weapons are designed to be more late game, like power creep kind of weapons. So like if you start the game assuming you're going to have access to an energy weapon and ammo for it pretty readily, probably not the case. Because it's ballistic and melee weapons and stuff like that to begin with. Just as a heads up, want to mention something else that is, I mean, more of a pop culture reference is the 223 pistol, which has become popularized in the form of that gun in Fallout New Vegas. It's really funny that we don't have that written down, because that's that's a favorite too. Yeah,
it's a favorite for some, not for me.
But the 223 pistol is unique in Fallout 1 but not in Fallout 2. What I mean by that is one person gives it to you as a reward, and it's a described as a shaved down rifle in handgun form. And in Fallout 2, powerful humans just have them in random encounters and stuff. So yeah, it changes.
Yeah.
But let me go location. Helping Irwin in the hub. He's a dude that has a bed in a ruined building. He's actually pretty easy to walk by. But once you're level 5, I believe, you can go and speak to him in the hub, and he'll ask you to go to his farm and clear it out of raiders. These are particularly difficult quests because the raiders are like mid-range in strength. Like if they burst you, you could just die. So, especially if you're not prepped, or like one of your companions too, if you bring companions with you, which you should. But complete the quest, and he'll give you a pistol that would have been useful during the quest, which is the 223 pistol. Fortunately, you can use it throughout the rest of the game, and use it against, the Master's army, who is threatening the wasteland in Fallout 1. So, one little extra feature about the 223 pistol is in Fallout 1, it is insanely loud. It is the loudest gun in the game.
Bang, 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 bang.
It goes, yeah, like it's a straight up hand cannon, and your ears may get blown out when you fire it. Like it's one of those types of weapons. I wanted to mention the Bozar, but the Bozar is more of an honorable mention rare gun because it's not unique per se. So I just want to point that out really quick. It is unique in New Vegas, though. But anyway, one final one for the classic Fallout games is a Solar Scorcher. This one is from like I want to say like almost like a multi-reference kind of thing. It's from a special encounter in Fallout 2, as most of these really weird weapons come from. It's a unique energy weapon. It's called the Solar Scorcher, obviously, because it is a solar-powered energy pistol. During the daylight, and I believe you have to be outside, you can reload it for free. It is a laser-type weapon that does 20 to 60 damage. I didn't say how much the 223 pistol did.
How dare you, Caedo?
I know.
Now everyone thinks it does negative damage.
20 to 30 ballistic damage is how much it does. So the Solar Scorcher does 20 to 60, for reference. That's about twice as much damage. And is double the range of the Alien Blaster at 20, which is helpful. But of course, the reload thing is a downside, because you have to be most likely outside and in the daylight to use the Solar Scorcher effectively. You can find this weapon in the Guardian of Forever special encounter, which is a Star Trek reference. It's a big portal-shaped rock formation, and you walk through it, and you get sent back in time to Vault 13 before the water chip broke. And in this encounter, you're the one who breaks the water chip as the chosen one, which sets the whole series in motion. It's a really fun, like, cyclical kind of thing. But the Solar Scorcher is very, like, well hidden. Like, if you don't know where to find it, you can miss it completely, and you can't go back to this, like, back in timey place. So yeah, if you get the Guardian of Forever encounter, hold the shift button if you're playing that S-Fall version of Fallout, which is standard with digital editions. And you can find the Solar Scorcher in the Guardian of Forever encounter inside the Back in Time vault. I've been talking a lot, Sarge.
You have. That's because you played the classics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you feel like talking about some of the Fallout 3 uniques that you're probably more familiar with?
I can talk a little bit about them.
Okay.
Not much, but a little bit. So let's see. The first one we have on the list is A321's plasma rifle. So this is going to be the replicated man, right?
Yep.
Cool, I am getting that right. Yeah, to be fair, this is a good one. It's pew pew plasma, which is good. It's also, like, I'd argue the first good, like, really good energy weapon you can get in the game.
Yes.
Because it's surprisingly easy to get your hands on.
Yep.
You just do the Replicator Man, which is like a narrative fetch quest in a relatively non-dangerous area. You have to go to Pinkerton, right?
Yeah.
So you have to fight a few Mirelurks and watch out for traps.
Yep.
But overall, fairly easy one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, it's very strong.
Yeah.
Especially when you first get it.
It's very strong. I don't have damage numbers up, but it goes pew.
Yeah.
And which is good. It's really just a very good plasma rifle. Like, I feel like I'll never use the standard plasma rifle because this is easy to get. Like, any character can get it. It's in Rivet City, which is somewhere you're going to go. It's just good. Like, it's a better version of the standard, which is what a lot of Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas uniques were. So props to it. The next one, the MPLX Nova Surge. Is this a punchy thing?
No, this is another energy weapon.
I don't recognize it.
It's not even close to as easy to get as A321's plasma rifle.
That'd be why I don't recognize it. When you have a really easy to get energy weapon, I'm just like, well, I don't need the rest. I got this one.
Yeah. Okay, so the MPLX Nova Surge is a plasma pistol. Compared to your standard plasma pistol, it does about over 3 times the damage.
That's good.
And in fact surpasses even the damage of A321's plasma rifle.
Ooh.
In a handheld plasma pistol.
It has some reason to exist then. I'll allow it.
Yep. So you get the MPLX Nova Surge in my favorite DLC in Fallout 3, Mothership Zeta.
Oh.
Yeah.
That explains the stupid name. Okay. I've probably got this so many times and have just been like, I've done the alien thing. I've got infinite money. I don't care.
Yeah, well, okay, so part of the problem with Mothership Zeta 2, like there's a lot of problems I have with the DLC, but one of the problems with this DLC is chunks of the ship get locked out completely when you finish it.
Yeah.
So you have a window of time if you're doing this DLC to get the MPLX Nova Surge. On top of that, you have to have a science skill of 75 or higher, I think. From the engineering core, if you go to the cargo bay and find a little nook with a bunch of terminals in it, one is going to be active. You activate the terminal, you hack it. If you have the science skill, you're going to need that for MPLX Nova Surge. And then you go to the tube where things are being dropped down, like Brahmin and various like baby carriages and stuff like that. In that area, in the pile of trash, is the safe connected to the terminal, which is on like I said, the other side of this room. And then you'll find the MPLX Nova Surge in there and proceed to go through all of your small energy cells, because it also takes double the ammo, understandably. Double the ammo for triple the damage is still pretty good, though. Obviously, it's something that will degrade pretty easily too, but because you're playing Mothership Zeta, Alien Epoxy exists, and that is essentially repair kits. So, like, you probably won't have much of a problem, you know, keeping it repaired, at least in the Zeta section of the game. It's one of my favorites. Like, I beeline for it. Like, if I can get it, I will, because it is, again, even more powerful than A321's plasma rifle. So, and if you already have the energy weapon skill, why the frick not? Speaking of energy weapon skill, let's talk about Fire Lance. It's another alien blaster.
I know this one.
Yeah. What is this one, Sarge?
It goes zap.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. See, I'm an expert. I've played the Fallout before.
You have. You've played the Fallout many hours.
Probably. This one you get completely randomly. It's just a random encounter, much like the classic alien blaster. And the main reason I've included it is because I have a very fond memory of right at the start of the game, at the beginning of the Wasteland Survival Guide, going to the Super Duper Mart, and it being there. Just the encounter, the raiders with it, getting it right at the start and being like, oh my god, I've got one of the strongest weapons in the game instantly. And then putting it in a locker for the entire playthrough.
Yep.
Because I'm like, I can't waste it. And then never using it.
And what's wild, now with the Fallout 3 playthrough that I've done, in the opening episodes of that, I had the same thing happen.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. But I actually used mine in my playthrough.
What? But Caedo, the condition will go down, and you'll use
Spoilers!
the ammo.
Oh no! I used all of it too.
Oh my god!
I did.
But that means you can't keep using it.
Yep. It's the elixir rule. I know. I understand.
Yeah. You must finish every Final Fantasy game with 99 elixirs.
Now that I've gotten older, I understand that I gotta use it sometime. So I'm gonna just use it.
Okay.
You gotta feed those magic pots, Sarge.
I don't get the reference.
The magic pots, you give them elixirs and they give you a crap ton of AP when you kill them.
Which Final Fantasy is that? Is it
a lot of them?
Really?
Yeah, 7 included.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway.
I don't really need the AP and stuff. I just fight other battles.
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
I save
too.
my elixirs. I just level grind for 20 hours, Caedo, rather than waste an elixir.
I know that this next one is an assault rifle you like.
Yeah. Oh, was that it? Sorry, I was assuming you were going to say more.
Because you know about it. I just assume you can tell the location and stuff.
Yeah. The Xuanlong assault rifle. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
I think it's pronounced Shenlong, but
Shenlong?
it's fine.
Okay. Yes, it's an assault rifle which you get by playing the game Fallout 3.
Yes.
You get it. I'm just remembering now. Oh, it's I'm Prime's body in the diner near the Jory Street metro station.
Yes.
And you need to start the Jigs or finish the Jigs loot quest.
Yes.
Which is the Museum of Technology. Yeah.
Yep.
See, I know that.
And
yeah,
it's an unmarked quest.
Yeah. Wait, it's not. I get this all the time. This is confusing me. Like, I don't recognize the location, the quest, any of this stuff. And I always end up with this weapon when I play Fallout 3.
The Museum of Technology is a location you get sent to if you can't sweet talk 3Dog into telling you where your dad is. And if you don't sequence break, also. But there are 3 terminals in the Museum of Technology that have a prime number puzzle, because the message is from Prime talking to Jigs, being like, oh, check out our stash. Beep, beep, beep. You only have one chance with each of the terminals to guess the proper prime number, and that will, unlock the clue for out of 3 to get Prime's body to appear at Drury Street, or the Drury Street Metro diner. Sorry.
Yeah.
So this assault rifle can be completely missed. This is one that Will Strife brought up, actually, when we had him on, when we talked about the importance of uniques and them having a story or a place in the world. This is a really good example of that. And also, it's a powerful assault rifle, probably the most powerful assault rifle in Fallout 3. So, there's also that.
Yeah. It's just crazy good. And the Chinese assault rifle is already like a real solid weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, hey, it'd be better now.
Yep, pretty much.
I think it typically becomes like my default weapon in a lot of playthroughs.
Yeah. And because of it being, one of the assault rifle variants, like, it's pretty easy to keep prepared to.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the higher level stuff, like even A321's plasma rifle, like late into the game, like after you've done a lot of like the Raven Rock stuff and whatnot, it's not insanely common that you find Enclave with plasma rifles.
Yeah.
Because with Broken Steel especially, you just skip right to Hellfire Troopers, and they have incinerators.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shenlong Assault Rifle, good. I agree with Sarge.
Yes.
On the topic of Hellfire Troopers, or Heckfire Troopers, as I like to call them in the playthrough, Burnmaster is not effective against them at all. But it is one of my favorite weapons in Fallout 3 that I've used more recently in the randomizer roulette playthrough. It's a unique flamer that just does a crap ton of fire damage. And it's tucked away in one of the sewers. If you have the Ghoul Mask, this is a lot easier to get than most of the uniques. The Franklin Metro Utility is where you want to go for this place. The Franklin Metro Utility is also one of those places that has a lot of crafting materials in it. So if you come in there with an empty inventory, like you're gonna walk out with a full one, kind of thing. If you know what to look for, if you're crafting stuff like, cherry bombs, lunch boxes, sensor modules, the stuff to make the stuff. Yeah, Burnmaster is freaking great. Its base damage is 24. All the others go as high as 18, because there's 2 other uniques as well. But the Burnmaster is the highest DPS at 194. That is almost 200 DPS coming off of a flamethrower. It's just insane how much damage this thing can do. On top of that, you can get the Pyromaniac perk and make it do even more. It says 241.6 with maxed out perks on the wiki. So that's so much. So as long as whatever you're fighting isn't resistant to fire, you will kill them pretty quickly with the Burnmaster, provided you have, the fuel to keep it fed. One of my favorites, reminded myself during the playthrough why it was one of my favorites.
Ooh.
If DPS is one of your, one of the things you're after in Fallout 3, I would like to point you to Jack as well. Jack the Ripper variant.
Ooh.
This is one, I'm pretty sure this is the one that shows up in, there are so many Jacks.
I mean, Jack is just a name. I was trying to search for Jack quotes to make some, like, jokey quotes during this section, but it's all just people being, like, listing the name Jack in some boring quote. Finding quotes online is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Just famous quotes and stuff. It's, like, impossible to find because everything is quoted on websites for no reason.
Wow.
It annoys me.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue talking about Jack.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, so Jack is one of the weird weapons, or the Ripper in general is one of the weird weapons that has its base damage be the culmination of its damage ticks. Where, like, if you're holding a sustained attack, like, every second does 30 damage. Like that, I think that's how I understand it. But it is a culmination of hits from the knife. So, the fun thing about Jack is that it also has crit damage. So, if you have a crit build and you're using Jack, you say you have a melee weapons maxed out with a luck of 10 and finesse and all the, like, various melee related perks, your DPS will be outstanding. It will be probably the most broken DPS you can get with any weapon in Fallout 3, because it's making those checks every or multiple times every second, and those checks are what register that crit damage. So even though your base damage could be 30 per second, like, I don't know how many checks it's making per second on top of it, but yeah, it could be 60 plus damage per hit 30 times a second. Yeah, so that's a lot. That's a ton of damage per second. So yeah, I should probably mention where to find it.
Yes.
After the Waters of Life, which is the big turning point of the story of Fallout 3, Jack will appear in the Deathclaw Sanctuary.
Oh,
you know,
nice and easy to get.
Really, really quick and easy place to go and pick it up. There's a dead Enclave officer in one of the body piles, and I've mapped this out myself, so it's a mental memory right now. But it's the southeastern section of the cave. There will be a pile of bodies, and the Enclave officer that's dead there could be like tucked away close to the wall. Like, I walked by them several times by accident. The unique Rippers on their body. So after the Enclave show up, that's where you find Jack. Do recommend if you're a melee build, because it is the most busted weapon. However, when it comes to my sound complaints about Fallout 3, using Jack on anybody who is wearing power armor is going to be very loud.
I went to just take off my headset then as a reflex. It's just, yeah. It's
Sarge, check this out. Yeah, because it's really, really loud. Also, I think robots have the same effect, because it's the metal hitting noise. It's a really aggressive noise that's not fun. On the complete opposite of that spectrum, the Perforator, which is a deliciously suppressed assault rifle. This was the weapon I went for on my Vagrant playthrough, my first legit playthrough that I did on the channel, without minus the XCOM one, which was a failure.
Oh dear.
But this is one of the ones I'm corrected on, or that people attempt to correct me on in the Uniques guide for the pit, because they're like, what about the Infiltrator rifle? The Perforator is the unique version.
Yeah, there's multiple infiltrators, right?
Yeah, infiltrators are the common variant in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
The Perforator is the unique.
Yeah.
Because you get it from Everett. Everybody's favorite raider, Everett. Let me double check. It takes a lot of steel ingots gathered to get it too. I think it's pretty high
90?
up there.
I want to say 90.
Yeah, 90 steel ingots to get the Perforator.
Because
so
I always make sure to get 90 no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't remember what's at 100, but I remember that I'm not a big fan of whatever's at 100.
I think it's the tribal power armor that's at 100.
That probably would be it.
I think so. Without looking, that's my guess.
Yeah. And I typically would play more of a stealthy rifleman guy, which means the perforator is just ideal.
Yeah, but like I said, this is the pit. This is a stockless automatic with a suppressor assault rifle. It's aside from the suppressed 10mm. This is the only other suppressed weapon I think in Fallout 3, right?
God, you might be right.
Yeah, because the snipers aren't suppressed at all.
No, whenever I want to play like stealthy guy, I get the suppressed 10mm. I go for this, and then that's my loadout. Because you can get both of them relatively early as well.
Mm-hmm. With how it performs, like you can be a stealth sniper / assassin, pretty easily with the perforator. And like I said, it carried me through the Fallout 3 Vagrant playthrough pretty easily. I had very little difficulties when I played because you can repair it with standard assault rifles too.
Yeah, I kind of forget as well that there's not a bunch of stealth range weapons in Fallout 3.
Nope.
Which makes this like so much better. Because you can be stealthy with melee or loud with ranged. But then you've got this weapon, which means, hey, you can do stealthy ranged. Lovely.
Yep.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Great. But while you're getting the perforator, as you've already got the 90 ingots, you'll also be rewarded with the metal blaster.
Yeah! I put these out of order.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Metal blaster's not like 70? 80?
50.
I'm gonna double check. 50? Really?
Yep.
Man, that's a lot lower than I thought it was.
Yeah. It's for how strong it is too.
Yeah. It's a laser rifle.
Yep.
That goes.
That's a good sound effect, Sarge.
Yeah. It's. We don't have the. You don't have. I forgot the name of it. They have it in New Vegas, a variant that shoots kind of like this, but I forgot the name.
Are you talking about the tri-beam?
Tri-beam. There we go.
I mean, the tri-beam's in Fallout 3 as well. That's what the Overlord's wield.
It was added with Broken Steel.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically a tri-beam laser rifle. Although I think it just counts as a laser rifle.
It has 9 projectiles instead of 3. Or 9 beams, so it's, not projectiles.
What would you even call that?
Anyway, it's got 6.1 damage projectile per projectile. Its full damage is 55 base. But when it crits hard because of how many beams come out of this thing. And I'm pretty sure it follows the like individual crit rule where like each individual beam or projectile is calculated, kind of like how it is with Jack. So
it's an Enea beam rifle.
It's a what?
Enea? Ennea?
Okay.
Yep, there we go.
I wasn't expecting a science lesson. Thank you, Sarge. Is that science?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know 1 through 10 except for 9. So that was quite annoying. There you go.
Okay, well that was the last one for Fallout 3. Man, thank goodness we got through that list. How about let's get to the game that everybody talks about all the time and wants us to talk about more, New Vegas.
Yep, New Vegas. Well, we've got none for the list because there's no uniques. Let's move on to Fallout 4.
No uniques whatsoever.
Yep. God, they should have put some uniques in New Vegas. Would have made it so much better.
Some real uniques too, like not like this randomly enchanted trash.
Yeah.
That Skyrim has and whatever.
Absolute garbage. Worst game of all time. That's why no one watches it or plays it.
Obviously, we need to talk about Figaro. I'm just kidding. Mercy is the first on my list.
Yep.
Mercy is a unique automatic grenade launcher, or grenade machine gun. Sorry.
Yeah.
This was one of the additions for New Vegas where the devs were just clearly like, I just want to fire grenades in an automatic way and carpet bomb everyone.
Yep.
So Mercy is just a stronger version of that. And with the amount of options that you have for 40 mil grenades, and if you know who to talk to get them in bulk, you can keep it supplied to carpet bomb as much as you want of the Mojave. So I don't even... should I even mention the damage it does? Because it's 40 mil grenades. Right?
I mean, I don't think we need the damage numbers for any of these. They all change depending on your stats anyway.
Yeah. I mean, well, the wiki is nice enough to show, like, you know, its base damage as well
rate,
as well as like maximum potential for with perks and stuff like that.
Oh, that's a nice
The fandom
thing.
wiki is freaking great for like, thank
I
you
mean,
wiki
for some
contributors.
games,
For some games, with the Fallout games, they're particularly on point. Like, they have a format down with it. It's great. But 100 damage with the explosive, 179 with maxed out perks per shot, and it's a grenade machine gun. So
yeah, and those shots can hit multiple things.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just insane. Standard grenade machine gun does half the damage.
Yeah.
An
Imagine
explosive.
you were dual-wielding grenade machine guns.
Oh my god.
That's mercy.
Yeah, pretty much. This is funny because just like Jack, this one is found in a cave of Deathclaws as well. Dead Wind Cavern, next to a Dead Brotherhood of Steel Paladin, along with some 40 mil grenades. So if you can make it to Mercy without dying, you can use it on your way out, or just kill your way there, like most of us do, through the Deathclaws and stuff.
Yeah.
It's related to Vengeance from Fallout 3 and the fact that both guns are very powerful, are heavy weapons, and found in the main Deathclaw caves, and their names are antonyms of each other. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cute.
I kind of wish it only had the first part of that. It's related to Vengeance because they're both heavy weapons.
That'd be funny. Another one, I mean, we have a lot of choices when it comes to unique punchy weapons. New Vegas has the most variety in that sense, and I love it for that. But I choose Pushy pretty much every time because it is a unique displacer glove, and I love it.
I am very surprised it's taken this long to get to unarmed.
Yeah, good point.
I was expecting like half your entries to be unarmed and explosive.
Well, okay. I said we're done with Fallout 3, but there's like two.
Oh,
there's like two in Fallout 3.
Yeah, and I expect to see them. Anyway, we're on Pushy. There's a lot of entries still, Caedo.
Okay.
And if you're doing the details and locations, we need to zoom, zoom, zoom.
Pushy's...
I know I'm being a bit pushy here.
Pushy's base damage and crit damage are both 60, so it's very strong. And the advantage of a displacer glove, unlike, say, the Paladin Toaster, or not, well, that's the unique variant, the Zap Glove, that's designed for things that are in power armor robots. This is designed to hit basically anything and probably kill it with sonic waves. And it does a very good job of that. And that's why it's usually my go-to. And it is slightly easier to acquire than a ballistic fist, which I also think about when I try to get these things. It is found on the way up to Jacobstown on the northwestern part of the map in Ruby Hill Mine. This is, however, the mine that has lake lurks in it. So be prepared for that. It's not the one with the Cazadors in it, so it's not that scary, but it is kind of scary still with the lake lurks. So just something to keep in mind. It's on a dead Jackal gang member, so that's what you're looking for when you're looking for the Pushy. Now I can get to some ballistic weapons. Hey, Sarge?
Shooty guns?
Yes.
Yeah, I put down the Gobi campaign scout rifle. Because I'm a sniper.
You are.
Bang.
I'm surprised I didn't write down Christine's.
No, Christine's is good, but one thing I like about the campaign rifle is that you need high lockpick to get it.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that having 100 lockpicks, I'm pretty sure it's very hard locked. I like the fact that you're rewarded with something actually unique rather than just generic good loot.
Yeah.
Because I know Skyrim is particularly bad for, hey, if you get good at lockpicking, you can get a slightly higher amount of gold in a chest. Well done. That's what you get for unlocking a better chest.
Isn't that what you wanted? More gold?
I mean, the gold's nice, but I'd rather there be, like... I don't want tons of uniques and tons of super valuable stuff hidden behind you need this perk to get it, but it's nice to have a thing here and there. Yeah. And that's exactly what the Gobi campaign scout rifle does. I feel like lockpick fits in somewhat thematically with a sniper as well. You want to be a little sneaky if you're playing that way. Lockpick's kind of sneaky perk. I like it.
Yeah, and it's got the desert camo paint job too.
Yeah, it's actually like camouflage.
We didn't mention this about the New Vegas uniques. Like, they all have unique looks to them too.
Yes. In fact, I think from here on out, I've just noticed something that's wrong with the list.
What's that?
There we go. I fixed it, don't worry.
You fixed it.
Yeah.
Only we will get that joke.
Yep. Alright, let's just move on to the Mysterious Magnum. Am I allowed to move on to the Mysterious Magnum? I'm moving on to the Mysterious
I'll
Magnum.
allow it.
Those were very bad sound effects. The Mysterious Magnum makes better ones. That's why it's good. I have no idea about his actual stats. You have to murder someone to get it. But it makes noise.
Alright.
I've mostly done sound effects in this section.
Oh, we didn't mention where the freaking Gobi rifle was.
Yeah, it's locked in a chest somewhere.
It's in the sniper post above Cottonwood Cove. Boom.
To be fair, I can visualize exactly where it is. I just don't know any of the names.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mysterious Magnum is on the... What's his name?
The Lonesome Drifter.
Lonesome Drifter, there we go. I could only think Mysterious Stranger.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's the weapon he seems to wield. But yeah, it's just... It makes sound effects. Why am I saying more, Caedo? I've pointed out where it is. I've said, but it makes sound effects.
It makes noises.
Yeah.
And if you have quick draw, the audio doubles up because you draw it too fast.
Oh dear.
And New Vegas can't handle it. So 42 base damage, 42 crit damage. It's pretty freaking strong for a revolver. And there's multiple ways to get it. You can just kill the Lonesome Drifter. He's the one by...
Wait, what do you mean there's multiple ways to get it? You have to kill the Lonesome Drifter.
No,
Don't
you
make me
don't.
feel bad about this, Caedo. You
don't.
have to kill him.
You don't, though.
You have to kill him.
No.
You have to murder him in cold blood.
You do
And because
not.
you have to do it, I never have to feel bad about it.
Okay, well, there's a quest in the strip called Talent Pool that you do for Tommy Torini over at the Tops. I'm remembering this. I'm not reading anything. If you do that for him and go find the Lonesome Drifter and let him know that Tommy is looking for talent, he can give you this revolver if you, I think, make a barter check. It's some form of check, being like, oh, a way you can show thanks is giving me a thing. Something like that.
A barter check of 50.
Yeah, barter check of 50. You can get the Mysterious Magnum that way. Or you can steal all his ammo and then leave and then come back, and he will have unequipped the handgun, and you'll be able to, you can steal it off of him that way. Or, like Sarge does, and assumes that that's the only way you can do it, you can just kill him. So there's 3 ways to get the Mysterious Magnum.
Well, I killed him for no reason many, many times.
Yeah, it's a good handgun to kill somebody for, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite a nice corpse. I was going to say guy, but I corrected myself when I realised he's dead in all my playthroughs.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
What's the last one? Our one energy weapon
The Q35 matter modulator.
for New Vegas.
Pew.
Pew. Yep, that's what it does.
Pew. Yeah. It's the one where you have to say the word ice cream to a robot, right?
You
I wonder why Caedo makes the guides for getting these weapons instead of me.
It's
Just say ice cream to a
just
robot.
say
She'll
ice
get this
cream.
weapon.
Either have
Come
a
on,
low
it's
intelligence
hard.
or really high science.
Yeah. So, what's the name of the building where you get this?
The Repcon headquarters?
The Repcon headquarters. You go inside, and it's a kind of like a puzzle to get up to the top floor and then down a bit.
Yes.
And you have to basically science check or low intelligence your way through a bunch of robots. You also pick up key cards and stuff which kind of get you through to places. And it's quite a simple little environmental location puzzle on working things out and just picking the right options.
Yep.
And then you come across this which goes
Yes.
That's how you get it. Anything to add, Caedo, on acquiring the weapon?
Nah. I wouldn't say particularly. The Q35 matter modulator is a, quote, better variant of the plasma rifle.
You say that with a question. Is it not better?
It's that its DPS is better, its base damage is not.
Oh.
So it's made to be fired at a rapid pace compared to your standard plasma rifle. The multi-plasma rifle...
But it only uses 1 microfusion cell per shot.
Whereas yeah, that was the difference for the plasma rifles in New Vegas, right? It uses 2 per shot.
Yeah. Okay. That's
I can't.
interesting. Yeah. So I feel like the damage per projectile might be better. 1 second, let me check. Because it says it's 40 damage per projectile. Oh no, it's 47. No, that doesn't make sense. A plasma rifle. I think they've got something wrong in the wiki.
Oh.
So they've got the numbers the same. It says ammo 2 per shot, damage per attack is 47, damage per projectile is 47.
Oh.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Wow, I can't believe you praised the wiki earlier, Caedo, when all of it's wrong.
Everything. Oh, so
God.
much. Everything's inconsistent and incorrect.
Yeah.
But the Q35 matter modulator is good. That is true.
It's good.
And one of many unique weapons in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Really unique.
It's just good. Good on it. And the fact that it does stand out differently from the thing rather than just being different stats is good.
Yes.
But now we come to Fallout 4, where there's not a lot of choice.
Nope.
I know people think there's lots of unique weapons, but all they are standard legendaries that have been given a name.
Yep.
Like the Rebar 2, that's got the Mirelurk killer effect or whatever it is.
The Mirelurk Slayer or whatever.
Yeah, Mirelurk Slayer, and has been named differently, and it's a hunting rifle. Paladin Dance's rifle, which I forgot the name of.
I forget
Righteous
it offhand.
Authority.
Yeah, that one.
Righteous
Yes.
Authority.
Yep.
That's just a laser rifle with a legendary effect. Most of the weapons are just one that you could find on your own and then rename, and it would be identical.
Overseer's Guardian.
Two-shot combat rifle.
2-shot combat rifle.
You can just buy.
Yep.
Very annoying. And this is what we were worried about with Starfield.
Yep.
Was just standard legendaries without a name, and that's... Yeah. But there are some uniques, and I will say, Fallout 4, when it does uniques, it's got a few that are really, really good.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with the Deliverer.
Yep.
Which you get by doing the quest to join the railroad. You get it at the end of helping Deacon fight some simps and go through a donut shop. And then he's like, hey, you want a pew pew pew? And you're like, oh, I love to pew pew pew.
You want the strongest handgun in the game?
Yeah.
So might as well have painted it gold.
Yep. Spoilers for probably the most difficult challenge run I've ever completed. But my one gun run of Fallout 4, which was permadeath survival mode, only can use the first gun you lay your hands on, used the Deliverer. And I did a permadeath survival mode playthrough of the game and wrecked everyone with it. The Deliverer's amazing. It's so good.
Yep.
Yeah, it has a unique appearance as well. Looks much more like a James Bond style pistol than your standard chunky 10mm. It's suppressed as default. You can get like different mods for it from Tinker Tom, which is quite nice. If you happen to not go the crafting route, even though I feel like 99% of us go the crafting route to improve our gear. It's still nice to have that option. It's just, incredibly powerful, incredibly good. No downsides?
No. None whatsoever. It has...
Doesn't have a scope.
Oh.
There we go. Can't snipe with it.
That is a downside, I suppose.
Can only really use it short to mid-range.
True.
Garbage weapon.
But... it has a stupidly low AP cost as well.
Yeah, you can fire it like 50 times and
so even if you do get caught, you can just go to VATS and shoot like 15 times and they'll probably be dead.
It is ridiculous.
Yep.
Next up on the list is the Cryolator.
Oh.
Yeah. The one which... Another weapon where it's like, hey, we're going to reward you for having really high lockpick. And then when you get really high lockpick, people online are like, why didn't you just cheat it with dog meat and get him to get it for you?
Yeah. An exploit that didn't get fixed since Fallout 3. Isn't that crazy?
It's a cool weapon.
Isn't that crazy being on such a jank game engine?
I mean,
it's
one of those things where it's like such a niche little exploit. The reason it's so known about is because it's such a powerful thing to do, but you have to go out of your way to do it. Like, it's so rare to accidentally go back inside the vault once you've got dog meat, stand in that room, and get dog meat to fetch something.
Yeah.
Like, you don't accidentally find yourself in that situation.
I just think it's funny that between Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 it existed as a thing. That's it. That's the main thing. Is how many years are these games apart? Like almost 10. And to get the reservist rifle, you did the exact same thing because that was another like max difficulty locker to get into, and you could just be like, dog meat, fetch.
Maybe Dogmeat's just a master thief and none of us know it.
Maybe that's the case, yes.
Maybe that's canon. Which too dumb to have picked up that this isn't a bug.
Yeah. There's multiple situations like that too, by the way. Like Rothchild, Lion's Safe, that has one of the less valuable unique laser pistols. I forget the name of it. Like, there's nothing really special about it. But you can have Dogmeat get that one too.
This one, the Cryolator, is a truly unique thing, because it's an ice blasting gun.
Yes.
It's not too much to compare it to. The closest thing is, like, it's the inverse of a flamer.
Yeah, pretty much.
It freezes things. The
Super
cryo
cool.
cells are a bit of a pain to get hold of, which is annoying, and is why I rarely bother to get it. But I know some people absolutely love using this weapon.
The cryo cells are something you can craft too, right?
I think so, maybe. Ammo crafting's a right pain in Fallout 4.
No. I think I may just be thinking Fallout 76, actually.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, in 76, the ammo crafting's great. I hope they have that for future Fallout games.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, in Fallout 4 we had, like, the automation thingy to craft them.
Yeah. That's right.
But as it is, you get 200 when you first pick up the Cryolator. Fire Brigader Protectrons, drop them on death. You know how we're constantly running into that variant of a Protectron, and there's totally not, like, a few of them in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, you just have to buy them from merchants. Weapon merchants, specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a fast-firing weapon. Like, you can burn through your initial amount of cryo cells in your first fight you end up with the weapon. Like,
There is an adjustment you can make to it to make it a little more ammo efficient and long range, which is the crystallizing barrel,
yeah,
which
crystallizing barrel is good.
allows you to shoot ice pellets, fat ones, instead of
that's still
a cooling
very
mist.
fast fire rate.
Yeah.
Because it's the same fire rate. It just improves, like, the damage, the accuracy, the range and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a fire rate of 90.
It's still more damage.
Yeah, it's still a lot better. Like, it's also one of those weapons where you get two options for barrel, stock, and sights, and you can just improve it each time, and that's it.
Yeah.
But hey, it's kind of cool.
It's
Get it?
cryo because it's cryo. What else is
Alright.
unique in Fallout 4, Sarge?
Grognak's axe.
Grognax.
Grognak's axe. Yep, this weapon, which you get from a comic book store. It's locked away, so you can ask someone else to pick the lock for you this time. You don't have to get Dogmeat to
You
do it.
can. That's right. You can be like, hey, Kate, pick this.
Or, hey, robot, who I've given a name that I probably can't say online, pick this. Because you've got a lock-picking module.
That's right. You can give them those too.
And it's an axe, and it goes chop, and it's too small. I know this is our best and our favourite, and I think it deserves to be on here, but it should be bigger.
This was the build-up I was waiting for, because Sarge said at the very beginning of, like, before we started recording, that he had a complaint. He had a complaint about Grognak's axe, and I was ready. I was waiting for it. And this is what it is. It's too small.
It's small. Like, it's about the same size as just a regular, like, wood chopping axe for, like, cutting up firewood. And it's supposed to be this big, beefy barbarian dude's weapon of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, like, standard axe size. When it's a double-headed battle axe.
Yep.
Think of Skyrim. Think about how big the two-handed axes are in that game. And their Grognak's axe is just like, yeah, I could cut up some kindling with this.
Yep.
should be so much bigger. And then when you get into power armor and wield it,
Yeah. It's it's a little baby hatchet.
it's tiny. It's got a unique look though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's something.
And similar to the Deliverer, it's got a very low AP cost for a melee weapon.
Yeah. And it's quite fast as well, right? Fairly fast swing speed from what I recall.
I believe so. I remember having difficulty with the scaling on this weapon though. Like it didn't
it's
seem
got
to
modding and stuff.
Yeah.
To improve it. It's very good early game, but it does kind of drop off over time.
Yeah. It is still fun to use when you have it though, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's got
Should be a lot bigger.
It's got a question mark with a bleed chance too.
It does bleed damage, right?
Yeah. What was it that I kept running into with oh, it was the Grognak outfit, that's right.
Yeah.
That I had to go into the creation kit just to find out what the bonus was, if it was 25 or 20%. I still don't remember offhand. Like,
oh dear.
It was that confusing of a thing.
Yeah. Alright, well, Fallout 4 doesn't have a ton of like truly unique uniques. So that's gonna be it for that list. And now we're moving on to Fallout 76, which has even fewer. Because we're actually going to start by talking about the Fixer, which isn't unique.
Nope.
It's kind of gets an honourable mention, though, because everyone wants a Fixer.
Yeah.
This is an online game as well, so even the truly unique weapons, like, everyone can have one of, and you can sell a lot of them, and then you can end up with multiple.
Yep.
So, there's a limit to unique. But the Fixer, the only way to, like, unlock it is to get the plan. And the only way to get the plan is by completing the Imposter Sheepscotch event, which I've forgotten the name of. Encrypted.
Encrypted, yeah.
There we go.
I'm editing it so good to make you sound smart.
Yeah, I definitely was an idiot who forgot the name of that. But yeah, what you need to do is, first of all, you have to go through like the whole Lying Low quest line to initially get this. And then at the end you do this. But you need an Assaultron recall keycard in order to start this event. Which, requires a recall keycard circuit board, stable fluorescent flux, and then some generic junk. And the recall thing you have to purchase as well from a merchant.
Yeah.
And it's got like a base value of 1,000 caps. So it's, you have to spend a lot of money to start up this event to then have a very, very, very small chance to get the Fixer.
Yeah.
As a plan.
Yep.
And the chance used to be quite good, I think. Oh, okay, apparently
it was good for me.
Wiki,
it was good for me back in the day.
Wiki, there's a 10% chance to be rewarded if the player character's completed the Lowdown quest, the last of the Lying Low ones.
Okay. So it's better if you've completed the thing. I get it.
But I'm not so certain on it. I know that like early days it was quite a high chance to get. I'm not sure if the 10% is just fairly low because it's a very rare event because it's so difficult to get started. It's not one that just will happen on its own. But once you get the plan, you can then get legendary variants and stuff. So it's a unique plan, so to speak. There's only a single way to get it, which makes it very desirable. And I made a guide on how to get this before it got popular. And I think I said something like, this is a really underrated weapon. And then people watched my video and were like, oh damn, this is really good. And then like a few months later it was people going, this weapon isn't underrated, everyone uses it. And I'm like, yeah, I told people to use it. Yeah. And they did.
Because I brought it up.
But yeah, the Fix is really cool, and I do like it as a significant thing. And it's...
This was a Far Harbor weapon too, wasn't it?
Kind of. Was it the same name? There was... No, it's... Because it's a variant of a combat rifle. Essentially.
Right.
So it's not really in Fallout 4, but there's similar stuff. I think December's Child is maybe
that's the one that has all the effects that are broken.
Yeah.
Broken in the bad way. Like they don't work.
Fix is broken in a good way though.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not a proper unique, so we'll move on to the 2 maybe uniques that we've found.
Yeah.
First up, the cold shoulder, which I feel you can actually talk about, because you got this right.
Yeah,
It's a cold shotgun.
yes, the cold shoulder in Fallout 76 is a cold shotgun indeed, Sarge. So it has the cryo mod and the paranormal mod. Paranormal is increased damage to cryptids, which is pretty gosh dang cool. Because with the new event too, like there's more cryptids to fight, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But this shotgun is kind of an example of what kind of me and Sarge are hoping for with uniques in both looks and performance. Because the cold shoulder in particular has like cold mist coming off of it.
Yeah. It's really cool to hold you're carrying it in first person.
Yeah, really cool, just like Cryolator. And it was part of an event. The way these are working too, I think pretty sure that it's not really changing after this point, is these are like exclusive unlocks, not necessarily like unique in the traditional sense because it is an online game, but unique unique unlocks where like you can't really, I don't think you can trade them.
I don't think so.
But you can craft as many as you want as long as you have the legendary modules to do so. So essentially you're rolling each time to get the best version of the cold shoulder that you can. So if you got one that you're not into, you can try rolling more of them, because it can have more effects on it than just the cryo and the paranormal mods. I like the cold shoulder shotgun and the amount of things that it do. I think the one that I got, it comes with quad as well, so yeah. So it's a double barrel with 4 times as much, not 4, did they change that? Quadruple ammo
quad
capacity
means 4.
yeah unless unavailable under normal circumstances in parentheses.
Some pun to do with the word cold. If you complete Cold Case, the quest, you'll also get a unique. That was my transition.
Yeah, woo! What's that, Sarge?
If you go to Wavy Willard's water park and talk to Miss Annie and are like, hey, I'll find the kid that you've lost who's definitely dead, then by completing it, she gives you an incendiary 10mm submachine gun. I don't know why she has that.
Yep.
But it is actually unique. The incendiary effect is like a unused tier 4 legendary. So you don't just get this on other stuff. And it's quite powerful, like really quite powerful. And you just dacker stuff at it. I think it does, the damage is, base damage is 17 to 34 depending on what level you get at. And it's 24 fire damage because it's 8 damage per second over 3 seconds, which is a significant boost in damage that way. Unfortunately, it is one of those things where you have to pick it up at a level, and depending on if you pick it up at level 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50, that's kind of the one you're stuck with.
Yeah.
Because it is unique, and this is the downside of uniques in this game.
Yep.
You just get it at the level, and can't fix that, can't go back and deal with it. You have to start an entirely new character to get the high version, or hope someone's selling a level 50. But then you have to make the decision of, am I actually going to use this at level 50, or am I going to use some of the overpowered legendary drops?
Yeah.
But do I want to get it really early on and then not be able to use it in 5 levels' time? 76 has problems that I don't like as more of a single player guy. But this gun's cool.
Yeah. Way to circle around.
We've recorded too long. I've lost my positivity. I'm in the negative, Sarge. I did my positive stuff. I was hyped for Gex. Everything after that, terrible.
Wow.
Clearly.
Yeah. I found the one true Gex fan. It's Sarge.
I've got nothing else to say.
Okay,
You got any closing thoughts, Caedo?
These are uniques in the Fallout series. It's in the 76, in the case of 76, kind of uniques.
Kind of. Yeah.
Not quite, but we'll add them because they're powerful and cool. If some came to mind when we were talking about these and we didn't talk about them, or you want to add on, please comment the uniques that you were thinking of and want us to know about more so, but not the Ranger Sequoia. Because
if you mention Ranger Sequoia, we're blocking you. Just flat out blocking you. You're never allowed to watch either of our videos again.
Yep. I know by saying it, I'm perpetuating it though. So if you say Ranger Sequoia, make sure you're commenting it on my other videos too, so they get viewed. So what have you been doing, Sarge? Since you're in the negative, let's go back to positive, Sarge, and talk about the things you've been enjoying over the past couple of weeks.
Okay. I played some of the Outer Worlds.
What?
Yeah, I decided I'd go back, sci-fi game, do that before Starfield. And, I got through the first planet, I made it to Groundbreaker, and I haven't played it in a week.
Oh.
Yeah. It's, The Outer Worlds has good writing.
Yes. There's no but there. It's
The problem is there's nothing after that.
Yeah.
Like, it's well written, but it's, the gameplay's not great.
Yeah.
I've already played it before, so I know what happens.
I can't remember. Did you do the murder on Eridanos?
I haven't done the DLCs, but I don't own the DLCs.
Oh, okay.
And I don't want to pay for DLCs for a game where I'd have to play for a bunch of stuff I've already done
Right.
and can't be bothered with. Yeah.
And this was in... You played the Spacer's Choice Edition, right? The one that works super
no,
well
I didn't.
And doesn't have performance issues.
I played the basic thing that's on Game Pass, so I played it on the Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the real problem is just because I've already done it, it's not got the replayability. While there are different ways to play through, you still have to do all the first part in the same way. And if you speed through stuff, then you're underleveled for future things. But if you go for everything, then you're just doing the same stuff again. It's not as open world as I'd like to be, is the big problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's far too linear for a game where you're allowed to go and do what you want. You have super limited choices, which, annoyingly, I get is what a lot of people want when they say they want choices in games, is they want a list of, 5 separate things, rather than hundreds of things.
Yeah.
They want a very small list of mild choices to make where they can easily tell the difference. And Outer Worlds gives you that.
Yeah.
And I don't care for it that much.
Well, one thing in the game's favor, though, is... your choices on the Groundbreaker can determine whether you go to Byzantine super early or much later. So you can I don't know if I want to call it sequence breaking, because it's not quite sequence breaking because you are following the story. You're just going a different path to get there.
Yeah.
And I think the Outer Worlds does that cool because of how small and contained of a game it is.
Yeah. By making it much more... I can't think of a good word. I suppose I'll just have to go with contained.
Yeah.
It does mean you can easily, easier than in a huge open world game with tons of overlapping things, you can set down these different paths for the player to go on.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a choice of here are the paths to walk on, rather than here is an open field, you can walk how you like through it.
Yep.
Which isn't bad, just not super my thing.
Yeah.
But I've also... played another game with a similar-ish sort of thing, Grand Theft Auto 5.
What?
It came to Game Pass recently,
and
I've been playing it. And I tried playing it in first person, because I'm bad at third person. So I was like, I'm going to use the first person mode. And dear God, is the first person mode bad. It is terrible. It is so awful.
Who knew
to the point where
that would be the case in a Grand Theft Auto game?
It's incredible how bad it is. I don't think the controls in third person are actually that great. The driving's good, and the rest of the controls aren't. But in first person, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. You can't do anything. So I've gone to third person, because even me, someone who will take first person over third person any day of the week, and will often ignore third person games because they're third person, isn't playing Grand Theft Auto 5 in first person. The first person mode is bad. But the game is fun. I've just gone through, messing around, driving about. I've been doing the thing I do where I just drive kind of respectfully quite often. where I'm like, oh, fancy crime game. I'm going to stop at all the red lights.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've just had a bit of fun with it. The story's good. It's a game where I've spent enough time away from it that I can redo the story. And I don't think I ever beat the story, so I might actually beat it this time around. We'll see. I've not got long to beat it, because Starfield in a month and a half.
Mm-hmm. No,
we'll
it's so close.
It's not close enough, though.
Oh.
I've only got a few more video ideas before I need Starfield to come out. Or if anyone wants just Starfield ideas, because I've started making some Starfield-related content.
What?
Yeah, and you've technically featured in both of the videos I've made when this will go out.
Have I?
Yep. You don't know about the second one yet, because we're recording this before that comes out. I haven't even uploaded it yet. But the other week, I made a video called 10 More Games to Play While Waiting for Starfield.
Yes.
Because last year, I made a video called 10 Games to Play While Waiting for Starfield, in which I listed 10 games to play while waiting for Starfield. And you won't believe what I did in 10 more games to play while waiting for Starfield.
You talk about more games.
I did.
Oh.
I talked about 9 games over the course of about 10 minutes, slightly under. And then Caedo talked about Prey for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Which is a third of the video.
Yeah, the video's under 15 minutes. Most of my entries ended up just being a few sentences. And Caedo was like, okay, I'm going to break down each of the things. You even messaged me and were like, okay, like, how long should this be? And I gave you like, oh yeah, like, couple of minutes, 1 to 5 minutes kind of range.
You gave me a
like,
maximum, and I maxed it out.
I did. You really did max it out. You really, really did.
Because
yeah,
I'm in max.
Yeah. Caedo and I did that, and yesterday I'll have uploaded a video called Why Do People Hate Starfield?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually quite happy with it.
Okay.
Because while it's got quite a provocative title, I do look at like different reasons why people are having a negative opinion or negative feelings towards Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, some of it is stupid stuff, i.e. the console wars, which I go over a bit. And some of it is sensible stuff, like people being concerned about potential accessibility problems. So, there is quite a range of things I talk about. I'm happy with the edit as well. I did the edit the day before recording this, and actually happy with how it went. I had things work pretty much how I wanted. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Hopefully it'll do well. I'd like for my Starfield videos to start getting views and people watching and people excited. Because currently I do have a problem of people going, why aren't you going to play Skyrim for another decade?
Yeah, I hope that for both of us, Sarge, that people just forget about Skyrim while Starfield releases and stays relevant for the whole next year and longer.
Yep, I'm also wondering if I can finish my current Skyrim series early in any way, so that I can stop making it. Because I'm also doing a Skyrim playthrough, my final one, where I'm supposed to hunt down 50 dragons before Starfield is out. And at the time of recording, I'm 8 episodes in and like 10 dragons down.
Oh.
So
you can knock that out.
I got 40 dragons to kill. I'm wondering, can I do like 10 dragons an episode and then I'm done for the end of the month?
Hey, remember when Skyrim released and dragons were such a big deal and now they're just like a casual, I'm going dragon hunting.
Yeah. I think I killed like 3 or 4 in the last episode. I'm losing lots of horses though. There's already a running bet on how many horses I'm going to lose. The highest anyone guessed was 3 and I think I'm already on horse 4 or 5.
Are you going to do a montage of all your horses dying?
No, Caedo, I'm not putting extra work into Skyrim.
More Skyrim content.
My last 3 Skyrim videos was rating Skyrim builds, which was just scrolling down comments and talking, and a tier list of Daedric artifacts. Like, I'm not putting any more effort into Skyrim. All the content's been made for it. If you want more Skyrim content, it's already been made. Stop asking for Skyrim content. Why do people ask for Skyrim content? It's all there. We're not doing anything new. Why do you want the same thing over and over? I hate all of you. What have you been up to, Caedo?
Speaking of beating a dead horse, I've been playing Fallout 3.
Hey.
So I finished my Let's Play recording for the Fallout 3 playthrough. The final episode will go up on the 21st.
Ooh, that's
And
not
I
long away.
think that is a week-ish from now. We're recording a day early, but yeah. So I'm thinking of making it a premiere because it is going to be on a Friday, and it's going to be a longer episode. Obviously, the finales are usually a longer episode. So, yeah, I'm excited for people to see the end of that playthrough. The whole couple hundred that are still watching. It was a really fun, like, revisit to Fallout 3. Like, I did enjoy it pretty much all the way through. The broken steel section, there was something that got annoying. Yeah, there was one particular Enclave soldier in Adams Air Force Base that is programmed, like, their deployable kind of cover apparatus thing that they put out. How some of them have like a walkway over the top of them. So one of the Enclave soldiers was programmed to just strafe back and forth while shooting at you. And even if you disarm him, he doesn't stop strafing back and forth on that upper level. And that's the only thing he's made to do. So I was getting really frustrated. First of all, their accuracy, because they were insanely good at shooting me and using up all of my stim packs. But secondly, this one soldier, I tried to melee him, and in VATS I could not keep up with him because of his strafing back and forth and like falling off of the platform because it's a one person width. So like it was a whole nightmare, and I got pretty salty at that section of the game. And the funny part was I disarmed him and he continued doing it. So he was just standing there with his fists up, strafing back and forth on the deployable cover. So somebody programmed that specifically to annoy players, and I'm mad at whoever did that. But the rest of the playthrough went great. The randomizer nature causing my character to be evil didn't really stop, and I'll leave it at that. Something else I've been doing is playing Baldur's Gate 1, because one of the things that I'm waiting to release, and am going to be probably playing next month in August, is Baldur's Gate 3. I've been really looking forward to this game coming out in its 1.0 full release form. We've talked about it occasionally on the podcast. It is almost here. And I want something, especially D&D-ish, to play with my partner, with my friends. And that is going to be the thing to do. Because one of our standard go-tos has been Divinity Original Sin 2, which is another Larian Studios game. But now we've got Baldur's Gate 3 coming, and it's got a lot of stuff in it to do, and characters to learn about, and stories to tell, and stuff like that. Just D&D goodness in video game. Enough about getting hyped for that. The thing that's keeping me sated is playing the original Baldur's Gate games. So I'm playing Baldur's Gate 1 first, and then Baldur's Gate 2. I forgot how punishing these games were. They rely on you save scumming like crazy. Like worse than the classic Fallout games almost.
I swear every isometric game is like, hey, we want to make you suffer. None of them are easy. All of them are like, we want to make everyone in your team die. We want to make you die. We want to make you fail. Oh, you want to get through the tutorial? No, die instead.
Yeah, so the advantage of the classic Fallout games over the Baldur's Gate games is that the Fallout games are turn-based. The Baldur's Gate games are real-time with pause. So, like, something completely awful can happen to your character. You can completely miss it, and especially if you're managing a team of 6 characters. Whereas in Fallout, your characters usually manage themselves if they're in your team, to a degree. But in Baldur's Gate, like, you got a lot of crap to manage at a time, especially if you have like multiple spellcasters too, like one that's a druid with pre-spells and then one one or two mages on top of your fighters and you're trying to keep them alive. It's a lot. And the thing is, they have, because the enhanced editions came out for these games, they have a story mode which allows you to essentially one-shot most enemies, which I'm starting to want to recommend to people if they go back to the classic Baldur's Gate games, because they are so incredibly unforgiving and assume that you're going to quick save all the time. And it has this weird trope that I think maybe was popularized by Baldur's Gate or something like that, or like they knew that this was a way of conveying information, so they just started doing it all the time. And it's like, when you enter an area, somebody will just talk to you. Like, you don't get the option like other RPGs to just like, oh, just talk to people that have names and maybe you'll get more stuff. No, a lot of the time when you enter a new area, somebody will just walk up to you and say some random crap about the area that you need to know for your quest or whatever.
Quest givers, more like quest forcers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I want to say about half of those are people trying to kill you. So, like, even in some taverns, you can walk in and this guy will be like, I don't like your face, and then start a fight with you when you're trying to go and rest. So it's brutal. And I recommend playing it in story mode if you decide to go back and play Baldur's Gate. But not everybody is like me. Like, I played the first 2 Witcher games before I played The Witcher 3. Don't recommend that either. So also, something on a fun entertaining note, I watched Renfield, the Nicolas Cage Nicholas Hoult team up movie where Nick Cage is playing Dracula and Nick Hoult is playing Renfield, a servant of Dracula, and he's fed up. And it is a hilarious, almost parody of like vampires in media in general. So think along the lines of like What We Do in the Shadows kind of thing, like, or the energy of the action energy of like Guns Akimbo. Like, if you like those kinds of movies, like Renfield will be your jam and you'll get a lot of laughs out of it too. So that's why I want to recommend watch Renfield, because I watched the first episode of the Clone High reboot. Don't watch that.
Oh.
It's unfortunately not great in my mind. I know that meta commentary has been a common, annoyance with reboots of shows, and like, yeah, the Clone High reboot's not any different in that respect.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Anyway, that's all we have, I think.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
That's it. Bye.
No, I gotta do the promotion stuff.
Okay.
Patrons, thank you for supporting me and the channel. This is not monetized. Like, we don't monetize. We don't have like ad breaks or anything like that in the PIPCAST, because it was honestly too much work to keep track of all the ad breaks that YouTube would force on it anyway. So thank you to my Wasteland Legends, Sven and Rose. I really appreciate you guys. And those of you still listening, please comment what you've been doing and playing, what you're excited for. Are you excited for Baldur's Gate? Are you excited for Starfield? What uniques did we not talk about? Please mention those as well. And we hope to catch you next time, after the next 2 weeks, on the next PIPCAST 3000. I'm gonna burp. Bye.